Let me tell you something, and I need you to listen to me, not with your ears, but with your soul. Because what I am about to share with you is not a lesson in grammar. It is not a list of vocabulary words. It is a confession. It is a survival guide. It is the story of how I learned to find my voice when the entire world told me I was alone. You see, we live in a world that is obsessed with companionship. We are told that we need a partner to dance, a partner to travel, and a partner to speak. We are conditioned to believe that language is a two-way street, a bridge that requires someone on the other end to meet us halfway. And if there is no one there, we are told to stay on our side of the river. We are told to be silent. But let me ask you a question. When you were a child, learning your first language, did you have a partner? Did your mother sit you down with a textbook and a study guide and say, "All right, today we are going to conjugate verbs"? No. You learned alone. You learned by listening to the chaos around you, by mimicking the sounds, by talking to yourself in the mirror, by repeating the words you didn't understand until they became a part of you. You learned in solitude. And that is exactly how you will master English. I want you to look at your solitude not as a prison, but as a sanctuary. When you are alone, the pressure is off. There is no one to judge you. There is no one to correct your accent. There is no one to laugh at your mistakes. It is just you and the language. And that is the most beautiful relationship you can ever have. Because when you are alone, you are free. Free to stumble, free to fall, free to get back up and try again without the fear of embarrassment. I know what you are thinking. But how? How do I practice speaking when there is no one to speak to? And I am telling you, the answer is simpler than you think. It is not about finding a partner. It is about finding yourself. You must become the speaker and the listener. You must become the teacher and the student. Start by talking to your reflection. Yes, I am serious. Look at yourself in the mirror. Look into your own eyes. And tell that person what you are feeling. Tell them about your day. Tell them about your dreams. Tell them about your fears. And listen to yourself. Listen to the rhythm of your voice. Notice the way your mouth moves. Notice the sounds that feel awkward on your tongue. This is not vanity. This is practice. This is the rehearsal for the performance of your life. When you look in that mirror, you are not just speaking to a reflection. You are speaking to your future self. You are speaking to the person you are going to become. And that person deserves to be heard. So don't mumble, don't whisper, project your voice. Command the room, even if the room is just your bathroom. Claim your space. I also want you to talk to the things around you. Talk to the walls. Talk to the trees. Talk to the rain. I know this sounds like madness, but madness is just a label we put on people who refuse to conform. And let me tell you, there is nothing more liberating than standing in the rain and telling the clouds about your problems. You see, when you speak to inanimate objects or nature, you are not worried about their response. You are not worried about their grammar. You are just expressing yourself. You are releasing the words from your chest. And that is all that matters. But let us be a little more structured about this. Let me give you the tools that I used to build my voice. You are going to need to become a collector. Not of stamps, not of coins, but of stories. You are going to watch movies. And when you watch them, you are not going to watch for entertainment. You are going to watch to absorb. Pause the movie, rewind it, listen to the dialogue, and say it back. Try to mimic the emotion. Try to mimic the cadence. Let the actors teach you how to feel the language. You see, language is not just about words. It is about emotion. It is about energy. The same sentence can mean 100 different things depending on the tone. So when you watch a film, notice how the voice changes. Notice how it rises and falls. And then you do the same. You record yourself. Yes, this is the scary part. We all hate the sound of our own voice. But you must listen to it. You must analyze it. You must become a scientist of your own speech. Listen for the parts that sound robotic. Listen for the parts that sound unnatural. And fix them. You are your own critic and your own cheerleader. And do not forget the power of reading. But I do not want you to read silently. I want you to read out loud. I want you to feel the words in your mouth. I want you to taste the syllables. When you read a book, you are not just consuming a story, you are performing it. You are the narrator. You are the hero. You are the villain. Give each character a different voice. Let the drama unfold on your tongue. This is how you learn the music of the language. I know that sometimes the words will get stuck in your throat. You will feel like you are choking on the sounds. And that is okay. That is the battle. That is the fight for your voice. But you cannot let the fear of making a mistake stop you from trying. Mistakes are holy. Mistakes are the stepping stones to mastery. Do you know how many times I have fallen? Do you know how many times I have stood up, bruised and broken, only to fall again? But I always got back up. And so must you. You must also think in English. This is the greatest secret. Do not translate from your mother tongue. When you wake up in the morning, do not think, I am going to have breakfast. Think in English. Narrate your life. Say to yourself, I am opening the window. The air is fresh. I am excited for the day. Narrate everything. Narrate your pain. Narrate your joy. When you are cooking, describe the process. When you are walking, describe the scenery. When you are angry, describe your anger. If you can think in English, you are already fluent. The mouth will eventually follow the mind. And let me tell you about the power of music. Music is the universal language. It bypasses the intellect and goes straight to the soul. Find English songs that move you. Find songs that make you feel alive. And sing them. Sing them with your heart. Sing them with your chest. If you can sing, you can speak. Singing teaches you how to breathe. It teaches you how to hold the sounds. It teaches you how to use your diaphragm. And when you speak, you need that power. You need that breath. I want you to also create a world for yourself. Build a little kingdom in your mind where you only speak English. When you wake up, you are the queen or king of this kingdom. Your subjects are the words, and you must rule them with confidence. Write a journal. Write it in English. But do not just write it for yourself. Write it as if you are sending a letter to a friend. Write it as if you are telling a story to a child. Write it with passion, and then read it out loud. Be your own audience. Applaud yourself. You deserve the applause. Do not wait for a partner. The partner is not coming. And if the partner does not come, so what? You do not need them. You have yourself. And you are more than enough. I have learned that the people who wait for the perfect conditions to start are the people who never start. They wait for the perfect job, the perfect partner, the perfect time. And they wait their entire lives. And then they die with their words still inside them. I refuse to let that happen to you. You have a message. You have a story. The world needs to hear it. And it does not matter if your accent is thick. It does not matter if you make a mistake every 5 seconds. What matters is the conviction. What matters is the fire. When you speak with fire, people do not hear the mistakes. They feel the energy. They feel the truth. And that is what I want you to understand. Your goal is not to sound like a native speaker. Your goal is to sound like yourself. There is only one you. And no one can speak like you. No one can bring your unique flavor to this language. Embrace your accent. Embrace your stumbles. They are a part of your story. They tell the world that you are a warrior. They tell the world that you have traveled across mountains and rivers to learn this language. That is beautiful. That is something to be proud of. Do not try to erase yourself. Do not try to become a copy. The world is full of copies. Be an original. And let me tell you about the silence. The silence is your friend. When you are practicing, there will be times when you draw a blank. You will feel the void. Do not panic. Sit in the silence. Let it be. Sometimes, the silence teaches us more than the noise. It teaches us patience. It teaches us humility. And then, when the word comes, it will be sweeter. It will be harder earned. And you will appreciate it more. I have spent many nights sitting in the dark, talking to the shadows. I have recited poetry to the ceiling. I have debated philosophy with the wall. And in those moments, I was not crazy. I was becoming. I was transforming. I was carving myself out of stone. And you must do the same. You must become a sculptor. Your mind is the marble, and your voice is the chisel. So start today. Do not say tomorrow. Tomorrow is a lie. Tomorrow is the thief of dreams. Today is the only thing that exists. Look in the mirror right now and say something. Say anything. Say my name is, and say it with pride. Say it with the volume of 1,000 voices. Because you matter. Your voice matters. And I know it is hard. I know that the self-doubt creeps in. I know that you feel foolish. But you must push through that feeling. You must look foolish in order to look brilliant. You must fall in order to fly. Do you think the eagle learns to fly without falling from the nest? Do you think the eagle is afraid of the ground? No. The eagle trusts its wings. And you must trust your voice. I want you to also use the internet. There are a million resources. Listen to podcasts. Listen to audiobooks. And then you must shadow them. You must listen to a sentence, pause it, and repeat it. Imitate the pace. Imitate the intonation. This is called shadowing, and it is one of the most powerful techniques in the world. You are essentially wearing the voice of another person. You are trying on their accent. You are trying on their style. And eventually you will find your own style that is a mixture of all the voices you have loved. And one more thing. Do not be afraid to be emotional. Do not be afraid to cry when you speak. Do not be afraid to laugh. Emotion is the bridge between languages. When you feel something, you do not need perfect grammar. The feeling transcends the words. That is why I love to tell stories. Stories are the currency of the human heart. And when you tell a story, the grammar becomes secondary. The truth becomes primary. So, practice your stories. Practice telling the story of your life. Start at the beginning. Or start in the middle. Tell it out of order. Just tell it. Tell it to yourself in the car. Tell it to yourself in the shower. Tell it to yourself as you are falling asleep. Weave the words into your dreams. Let English become your companion. Let it become the friend that walks with you on the lonely path. Because it is lonely. I will not lie to you. It is a lonely journey. But you are not lonely. You have the legacy of the language with you. You have the history of all those who spoke it before you. You have the power to shape it the way you want. And finally, I want you to remember this. Practice is not about perfection. Practice is about presence. It is about being present with your struggle. It is about showing up for yourself, even when you don't feel like it. It is about being consistent, not intense. It is better to practice 10 minutes a day than to practice 10 hours once a week. Consistency is the mother of mastery. So be consistent. Be gentle with yourself. Be your own best friend. I see you trying, I see you failing, and I see you trying again. And that makes you a hero. That makes you a legend in the making. So go out there and make your voice heard. Speak to the mountains, speak to the rivers, speak to the stars. They are all listening. And so am I, the world is waiting for you. Don't keep it waiting. Let me talk to you about this idea of translation. Because this is where most people get stuck. This is the invisible chain that keeps you bound to the ground when you are trying to fly. You see, when you learn a language as a second language, the natural instinct is to create a bridge. You hear a sound, and your brain immediately runs back to your mother tongue to find the matching piece. You think in your native language, and then you try to convert those thoughts into English words. You are essentially translating your soul. And let me tell you why that is a disaster. Translation is slow. It is clunky. It is like trying to dance while wearing heavy boots. Your mind is working twice as hard, running back and forth between two worlds. And by the time you find the right word in English, the moment has passed. The conversation has moved on. The emotion has faded. You are left standing there, holding a translated thought that feels like a dead flower. It looks like the real thing, but it has no fragrance. It has no life. When you translate, you are not speaking English. You are speaking your mother tongue dressed in an English costume. And the accent, the awkwardness, the hesitation, that is not your fault. That is the cost of translation. That is the price of holding on too tightly to the old language while trying to embrace the new one. You cannot serve two masters. You cannot think in two languages at the same time and expect to flow. You have to choose. And I am asking you to choose English. Not because it is better than your mother tongue. Not because it is superior. But because you have decided to learn it, and you owe it to yourself to learn it fully. You owe it to yourself to let go of the crutch. Your mother tongue is beautiful. It is the language of your heart. It is the language of your ancestors. It is the language of your first cry and your first laugh. I am not asking you to abandon it. I am asking you to park it at the door when you enter the room of English. Think about how you learned to ride a bicycle. Did you learn by translating the movements? Did you think about how to pedal in your native language and then convert it into action? No. You just did it. You felt the balance. You felt the wind. The action became a part of you. And that is what I want for you with English. I want the words to become movements. I want the sentences to become reflexes. I want you to feel the language in your bones, not calculate it in your brain. When you wake up in the morning, do not think, I am feeling tired today. Do not think that thought in your mother tongue and then translate it. Instead, force yourself to think the thought in English from the very beginning. Say to yourself, I am tired. I need coffee. I have a long day ahead. Say it in English before your feet even touch the floor. You see, the morning is a blank slate. Your brain is fresh. It has not yet defaulted to the old patterns. This is your window. This is your opportunity to train the mind to think in English. And I know it will feel unnatural at first. I know you will feel like you are pretending. You will feel like an actor on a stage. But that is exactly what you are. You are performing a new identity. And eventually, the performance becomes the reality. The mask becomes the face. That is not fake. That is growth. That is evolution. You are not being dishonest. You are expanding. You are becoming a version of yourself that has more words, more colors, more ways to express the chaos inside you, narrate your life. This is the most powerful tool you have. Narrate everything. When you are brushing your teeth, say to yourself, I am brushing my teeth. The toothpaste is minty. I am looking at myself in the mirror. You are not speaking to anyone. You are speaking to the universe. You are speaking to yourself, and that is enough. When you are walking to work, describe the streets. Describe the buildings. Describe the people you see. Do not look for the words in your mother tongue and then translate. If you do not know the word for a building, describe it. Say, that is a tall structure with glass windows. Use the words you have. Use the broken language. Use the simple language. Just use it. The more you narrate, the more you build a vocabulary of your daily life. You are creating a database in your brain that is directly connected to English. You are bypassing the translator. You are forging a direct link between your thoughts and the English words. And that link, my friend, is fluency. Fluency is not the ability to speak perfectly. Fluency is the ability to think in the language without pausing to convert. It is the ability to let the words flow out of you like water from a tap. Do not worry about the mistakes. Do not worry if you describe something incorrectly. The goal is not accuracy. The goal is flow. The goal is to keep the stream of English thoughts running. Even if they are messies, even if they are childish, let them be messies. Let them be childish. Because a messy river still flows. A messy river still reaches the ocean. And your thoughts will reach fluency if you just let them flow. You can also play games with yourself. When you see an object, describe it in English before your brain can translate it. If you see a car, say red car immediately. Do not think Gaudi and then convert. Just say red car. Train your brain to retrieve the English word first. This is called neural rewiring. And it takes time. It takes repetition. But it works. It works because you are telling your brain that English is the priority now. You are telling your brain that English is the default. And let me tell you about the dreams. Eventually, you will start dreaming in English. That is the sign that you have arrived. That is the moment when the language has entered your subconscious. That is when you know that you are no longer translating. You are living. And that is the ultimate goal. Not to translate your life, but to live it in the language you have chosen. So start now, right now. Think this thought in English. Do not translate it. Just think it. And let it be. Let me talk to you about this idea of consistency over intensity. Because this is where most people lose the battle. They do not lose because they are incapable. They do not lose because the language is too hard. They lose because they try to run a marathon in one day and then they collapse. They lose because they burn themselves out with the fire of enthusiasm. And then they are left with nothing but ash. I have seen it 1,000 times. Someone decides they want to learn English. They wake up one morning with a fire in their belly. They study for 6 hours straight. They memorize 50 new words. They watch 3 movies without subtitles. They feel like a warrior. They feel invincible. And then the next day, they wake up exhausted. They cannot look at another English word. They skip a day. They skip 2 days. They skip a week. And then the fire is gone. The momentum is broken. And they are right back where they started. This is the trap. This is the illusion of intensity. Intensity is a lie. Intensity feels good in the moment. It gives you a rush. It makes you feel like you are making progress. But progress is not measured in hours. Progress is measured in habits. Progress is measured in the small, boring, unglamorous actions that you take every single day. It is the 10 minutes you spend speaking to yourself in the mirror. It is the 5 minutes you spend narrating your morning routine. It is the one sentence you write in your journal before you go to bed. These things feel too small to matter, but they are the pebbles that build the mountain. Think about the rain. Rain does not fall in one violent explosion. Rain falls in droplets, soft, gentle, persistent droplets. And over time, those droplets carve canyons. Over time, those droplets shape the earth. They are not loud, they are not aggressive, they just keep coming. Day after day, night after night. And that is what you must be. You must be the rain. You must be the consistent, gentle, persistent force that wears down the stone of resistance. When you practice 10 minutes a day, you are not just practicing the language. You are practicing the habit. You are teaching your brain that English is a part of your daily routine. You are telling your subconscious that this is not a phase, this is not a hobby, this is a part of who you are. And the subconscious is a powerful thing. It does not care about your grand plans. It cares about repetition. It cares about patterns. If you show up every day, even for a few minutes, your subconscious will start to accept English as a natural part of your life. But if you show up once a week for 6 hours, your subconscious does not know what to do with that. It treats it as an anomaly. It treats it as an exception. And then it resets. It forgets. Because the brain is designed to forget things that are not repeated. It is designed to prioritize efficiency. It will not waste energy on something that happens only once in a while. It will only invest in what is consistent. That is the biology of learning. And let me tell you about the danger of the all or nothing mindset. This is the mindset that says, if I cannot practice for an hour, I will not practice at all. This is the mindset that kills dreams. This is the mindset that keeps you stuck. Because there will always be days when you are busy. There will always be days when you are tired. There will always be days when you do not have the energy for an hour. But you always have 10 minutes. You always have 5 minutes. You always have 1 minute. And that minute matters. That minute is a victory. That minute is a brick in the wall of your fluency. I want you to lower your standards. I want you to lower the bar so low that you cannot possibly miss it. Make it so easy that you feel silly not doing it. If your goal is to speak for 10 minutes, that is fine. But if you are too tired, speak for 1 minute. If you are too tired for 1 minute, speak for 30 seconds. Just do something. Just show up. Because the act of showing up is more important than the act of performing. The habit is more important than the outcome. The consistency is more important than the intensity. 1 day of intense practice will not change your life. But 6 months of 10-minute practice will change everything. 6 months of showing up, even when you do not feel like it, will build a foundation that cannot be shaken. 6 months of consistency will take you from a beginner to a speaker. It will take you from fear to confidence. It will take you from translation to thought. But you have to trust the process. You have to trust the slow, invisible, unglamorous work. Because that work is the only work that lasts. That work is the only work that matters.